Hi, my name is William Grant and today I'm going to show you how to fill out a logbook in New Zealand to comply with the work time and the Logbook Rule 2007 and their subsequent amendments. The number of hours drivers are allowed to work is controlled by the law. The name of the law is a Land Transport Rule, Work Times and Logbook 2007 and its subsequent amendments. You can find this Land Transport Rule by simply going to NZTA website and typing in the search bar Work Times and Logbook 2007. So on the page you will be able to find a PDF file which you can open and read the rule for yourself. So workers who drive certain vehicles are required by law to record their work time hours in the logbook and keep it up to date. So you might have been shown how to fill out a logbook before. It might be a little bit different from the way which I'm going to show you in this video. But nonetheless, the most important thing is for you to record all required information in your logbook so the enforcement officer can read and follow it easily. If your entries are not clear and not easy to follow, enforcement officer may issue an infringement notice which carries an instant fine and also driver demerit points. So let's start with the logbook cover. On the logbook cover, write your full name as is shown in your driver's license, including your middle names. Also, you may write your unique identifier if you hold P or V endorsement and have driver ID card. It is recommended that you use the ball pen to fill in the driver copy of each page of the logbook. Use the back flap between the sets of pages to stop your writing going through to the next page. So let's open the logbook and start filling out the page. So the general use logbook form has 2 copy or 3 copy for each page. The 2 copy logbook has the driver copy, which is white, and enforced copy, which is pink. The 3 copy logbook have driver copy, which is white, employer copy, which is yellow color, and enforcement copy, which is pink. If you are self-employed driver, you may use 2 copy or 3 copy logbook. If you are an employed driver and working for someone else, not for yourself, you must use 3 copy logbook. Now let's discuss about each of the copy. The pink copy, enforced copy, must be left in a book, can only be removed by an enforcement officer. The yellow copy, which is your employer copy, must be removed from the book, must be given to your employer at the end of your cumulative work period and given within 14 days of the record being made in your logbook. The white copy, which is we call driver copy, must stay in the book. There are some rules about upkeeping the logbook. The logbook records must be continuous, unbroken records of work and rest time, must be completed for the whole duration of your cumulative work period, which is up to 70 hours. What it simply means is, if you're working from Monday to Friday and you do need to keep a logbook, you need to keep it from Monday till Friday and need to record every single day your work and rest activities. As well as it must record the period back and include the last 24-hour break. So be maintained until the next 24-hour break is taken. The logbook must be kept by the driver for the 12 months after the date of the last entry in that logbook. So you must carry your logbook at all times when driving a vehicle where the work time and logbook applies. Driver must show any logbook records that relate to the last 24-hour break, which is your day off. If you have recently started a new logbook, you must also carry in your vehicle the old one until you record 24-hour break in your new logbook. So that's the only time when you're going to have 2 logbooks in your hand. So let's actually talk about how to correctly fill out a logbook. At the top column of your logbook, you have the field which is called driver's name. So it must be written as initials and a family name, or you may write your first name and a family name. As you can see at the top of the logbook, it's a James Michael Smith. He wrote his first name and middle name as initials and the last name written in full. Or also he can write as James Smith and it will be still correct according to the rule. Start time for page. So we need to choose start time for page. It's either noon or midnight. So once you have chosen either noon or midnight, it must be shown the same way on each page until the next 24-hour break is taken. If you start your work from Monday to Friday, on Monday you have circled midnight, you have to circle Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday must be circled exactly the same way, which is midnight. You cannot jump from midnight to noon within your cumulative work period. You can show your selection by simply putting a circle around the midnight or noon. So 12 a.m. is midnight, 12 p.m. is noon, which is your midday. As you can see, we have circled midnight. It means the top of our page, which is 12, becomes midnight. So let's say we're gonna start our work at 6 o'clock. As you can see, this 6 becomes our 6 a.m., which is in the morning. So day shift drivers always select midnight. It means they can finish their shift within one logbook page. Choose noon only if your work shift spreads over 2 dates. So basically, if your date is changing within your shift, you should select noon. Otherwise, you always should select midnight. And we're starting our work in 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The arrow points where the 1 o'clock should be. So we're gonna draw the line all the way down there, and this will be our 1 p.m. The next field of your logbook is the date. So this is the date on which the logbook page starts. I choose to write the date, month and year option. As you can see, 18/09/2019, it's the 18th of September 2019. Location and remarks column. In this column, you must record your workday activities such as all days off you've taken, as well as your days on leave or days off sick. As well as you must record start and finish time with a location for all work time hours. So the start and finish time with a location of all your rest times. To record the days off, simply record them at the top of your page. As you can see in presentation, I had 2 days off, which is 16th of September in 2019 and 17th of September 2019, recorded at the top of the logbook page. There is another field on our logbook page. It's end of last 24-hour break date. It's located on the bottom left corner. So this is simply the date your current cumulative work period starts. My day off was on 16th of September and 17th of September. On 18th I'm back to work. So my cumulative work period started on the 18th. So the date which I need to record in that column is the 18th of September 2019. So this box should not be used for the purpose of recording your days off. Days off should be recorded at the top of your logbook page. So let's continue with our logbook entries. As you can see, you got 2 columns. You got the rest time column and you got your work time column. Record entries in your logbook just after you started your work period or just before you started a rest period. To record the rest time, draw the straight line in the rest time column. To record work time, draw the line in the work time column. I prefer the ruler or some sort of straight edge to rule my lines nice and straight. If you don't have any straight edge, any of the trucks has some sort of fuel card, or you can even use your driver's license. It helps you to keep the entries in your logbook tidy and it gives your logbook a professional look. Let's say on 18th of September 2019, I'm starting the work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So in the rest time column, we should rule the line as rest time before 6 o'clock. And as soon as we draw the line till 6 o'clock, we should draw the horizontal line to guide it into the work time to indicate that we have started our shift. So record your start time and your locations. So when operating within any city in New Zealand, you must provide a suburb and a city name. Abbreviations are not acceptable. As you can see, we started at 6 o'clock. I have to write 6:00 a.m. and where I have started. According to my scenario, I have started in Wainoni, Christchurch. So record the registration number of any vehicles driven in each cumulative work day that subject to work time requirements. As you can see, I wrote the registration number, as well as use a reading from your harbometer if it is fitted with one. You must enter the start and end reading for each of the vehicles you have driven that is subject to work time restrictions. After we started at 6 o'clock in the morning, we're going to do some work. And we are going to do some local deliveries around Christchurch. So the next entry in your logbook should be your rest time for your lunch. So as you come in to the 11:30, we're going to have a lunch at Littleton. After we had some lunch, we're gonna go back after half an hour at 12 p.m. at Littleton and gonna do some more work deliveries. After that, another entry is going to be another half-hour break. As you can see, we started to have our half-hour break at 5:30, Wigram, Christchurch. At 5:30, we had our break and we are ready to go. At 6 o'clock, our break is ended, so we have to record 6 p.m. Wigram, Christchurch, and that we're back to work. And you can see we ruled the line that we're back to work activities. After that, we're going to record another couple of hours, which we're going to finish off work and go back to our yard. At 8 p.m. you have finished your shift, which equals to 13 hours. Remember, you must not work more than 13 hours at any cumulative work day. Once we finish our shift, we are going to record the end reading of our harbometer, which is found on the left-hand side of your vehicle on the rear axle. In your logbook, once you're gonna go to your rest time, you have to record and draw the line in your rest time column until you finish the page, like so. The next day, we're going to start our shift. This is our next day logbook page. We record the same way our name and the next date up the top of the page. Let's say we're going to start our shift at 1 p.m. next day. Let's say we're gonna circle the noon, which is most of the people would select. So your 12 at the top becomes 12 in the afternoon, so your 1 o'clock start will be right there. If we count up the hours which we drew the lines in your rest time column, it would only be 6 hours. According to the rules, you must show at least 10 hours continuous break rest between the cumulative work days. As you can see, selecting the noon simply means you're going to break the rules. However, you've had your more than 10 hours break. In this case, we cannot select noon. Once we choose the midnight, our 12 at the top becomes 12 at night, and your 1 p.m. is going to be drawn all the way down there. If we look at the 2 pages and the rest between the 2 days, we have had more than 10 hours, and now we can record our work shift. This is the correct entry. Once you have chosen either noon or midnight, it must be shown the same way on each page until you have had your 24-hour break. From time to time, you're not only going to be driving, you will be performing some yard or work duties which does not associate with you driving the vehicle. So how do we record the non-driving hours? It's simply record at the top of your logbook page. Let's have a look how we fill out. At the top of the page we wrote James Smith, and at the top of the page we record our day off. After that, we have done some work in the yard and we've never driven a vehicle. So on 7th of the 4th 2018 At 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we have worked in the yard. We only have worked and got paid for 8.5 hours, that's why we're recording 8.5 hours. And we've done some yard work. After that, on the next day, we're going to drive the vehicle. So we record the date when we drive the vehicle, which is 8th of the 4th, 2018, and we use exactly the same page for your entries for the driving day. After that, we can use the same page to record our other non-driving hours. For example, on the 9th, we started at 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. and we've done 8.5 hours and we've done some more yard work. And we can record another day on the 10th of 2018. We've done exactly the same shift, we've done exactly the same amount of hours, but you must record it in the logbook. Like anything else, every skill takes time to master. So this video will only help you to refresh your knowledge and train you how to use a logbook in New Zealand. There are a lot of more rules and exceptions in regarding of work time and logbook rule. If you still have questions or want to learn more about the logbook, contact us and we will be able to help you. I hope it will help you to fill out your logbook correctly and escape the hefty fines. We run the truck license courses class 2, 3, 4 and 5 in a fun way where you get a lot of practical experience and as well as hands-on experience. As always, stay safe.